shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises to our Abba, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Hamashiach Yahushai. And giving all praises to the Most High God, man, and to His Son, who the world so ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. So last week, just to recap, had a video, it did just a little part one of it, just how you want to, keep a circle of wise men, how you want to forsake, all the wicked people that you used to hang out with in the world. Because being in the truth, we got to walk a different path. We got to be on that narrow path. We can't be in that broad way like everybody else. We can't be doing what everybody else want to do. We can't be envying, envying the heathen. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to be like them. So I'm gonna get to a part two of that, man. We're gonna expound on it a little bit more, because this is work that's never over. Like, it's not finished. It's not something that you be like, all right, cool, I understand now, I'm just done with it. It don't work like that. Like, it's a daily grind. It's something that we gotta do day in, day out, all hours of the day. Like, it don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jake like to get to the bag, but the bag that we trying to get, we trying to seek the kingdom. That's the best bag you gonna get. You know what I'm saying? The riches with the heathen face on it ain't got nothing compared to the kingdom of heaven, man. But we gonna kick it off with the law like we always do. Got Leviticus 20 and 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy. And that holy means set apart. The Most High is set apart. He's not like everybody else. Everybody think they be like, oh, God know my heart. God know my ways. The world, they understand that the Lord direct their steps, but they think that the Lord really want to direct them toward foolishness. The Lord is directing you in the right way. That's why our people have a basis of a spirituality throughout their life. Their spirituality just gets misguided because they end up going to church. They listening to Big Mama. They listening to their mama. They family, their friends. And those just words of vanity. You know what I'm saying? They ain't going to give you, thus saith the Lord. And that's what's wrong, with society. That's the reason that we at where we at today. So I'm going to read that again. And ye shall be holy unto me. So you shall be set apart unto the Most High. For I, the Lord, am holy. Says the Most High is holy. There's all righteousness with the Most High. There ain't no folly and vanity and sin. Say, even if you want to listen to, not listen to, if you want to read nothing but Paul all day, Paul said he didn't know sin but by the law. He wouldn't know what, that what sin was is if he didn't covet. Paul wouldn't know that he was going off unless he knew the law. The law was, man, Paul was deep in the trenches, man. He was knocking off his brothers before he found the Most High, and repented and got into this thing. But reading on. And have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. So the Most High is calling you. It ain't like, you pick up the phone. Like, the Most High ain't got AT&T, he ain't got Verizon, T-Mobile, none of that. The Most High is knocking at your door. He's showing you the precepts every day. Videos going out, worldwide, all day, every day. People I knew back in the world, they be sending me stuff like, all right, I see what you was talking about now. But, it's all up to the Most High if that seed get watered. All praise to the Most High that they even, accepted it a little bit. Because now that they know that they Israel, they got to start putting in work. You know what I'm saying? This ain't something that just comes to you. There's a grind that you got to put with it. You got to match that energy. And that's what Jake loved being about. But we going to jump in. We like to do a little bouncing here and there. We read some of everything. So we going to jump over to 2 Corinthians. Chapter 6 and verse 14. I'm going to read down to 17. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. So you don't want to be around them. You don't want to be around people that's not on that same path. Now that, you're starting to learn the law, statutes, and commandments. You know that you're an Israelite. You're not just a nigga. You're not just a damn Negro. You're not an Afro-American, a damn hairstyle. You're not an African-American, named after two lands that the damn heathen stole and named after themselves. Say you got to be unequally yoked with the non-believers, man. Say everybody gonna look at you crazy for being in this walk. Yeah, look through our channels and look at what the brother Gedalia was talking about the other day. He said that you're gonna have to forsake them because everybody else gonna be looking at you crazy. I say your friends gonna turn against you, your parents gonna turn against you, your coworkers gonna turn against you. Everybody else gonna think that you wild, like being like, damn, he different. He ain't eating pork no more. He ain't smoking blunts with us no more. He ain't kicking it at the park on Saturday no more. No, man, it's the Sabbath. I'm getting into the word. I'm studying. I'm having holy convocation. Lifting up my brethren, man. Read on. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? That don't make no sense. He said you can't be dealing with them because then everybody gonna just look at you like them. Everybody say that, oh, Christ was dealing with the sinners, and they be like, yeah, well, it's the sick that need a doctor. You know, like you gotta spread them the message, but you gotta keep moving at the same time. You can't just be around them while they all, freaking out doing what they want to do. That ain't how it works. It says, so you can't be around, them. Read that again. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness? See, those two things just don't mix. It's like oil and water. They don't go together. Light and darkness, it don't work. You know what I'm saying? You can put on your fringes, but when you in the club, holding up a bottle with a blunt in your hand, they gonna look at you the same way they look at your folk. They gonna be like, hey, he ain't changed. Yeah, he talk about the Bible, he ain't changed. He really still with that. No, you gotta separate yourself from that. Because you can't let the devil just play mind games with you like that, still want to lurk over your shoulder. Because being around that, you're going to want to stay subject to that. And you ain't going to overcome it if, you still want to be around it like that. Reading on. And what concord hath Hamashiach with Belial? Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel? See that? So that says separation of people, man. All throughout this book, it lets you know that the Israelites are not like everybody else. We are our own set apart people. We are a holy nation. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody else fit these terms. The Chinese man can't pick up this book and be like, oh yeah, that fit us. You know what I'm saying? The Arabs, they can't pick this book up and be like, oh yeah, that's us for sure. It don't work like that, man. This only fit the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans. And what agreement had the temple of God with idols? We've been going off with that from the beginning, man. Even when Moses was dealing with us, he had just gone for just a little bit to go get the laws, and what happened? People over there worshiping golden calves. Moving on to 2022 AD, and people still walking around the damn rock in Mecca. People still wearing damn crosses on their neck. People still in the Catholic Church. People still in the Baptist Church. People still want to be Jehovah's Witness. People still want to be Seventh-day Adventists. Only thing that the Seventh-day Adventist got is the Sabbath. That's all they know. Outside of that, they don't know what the hell's going on. Reading on. Said, and what agreement had the temple of God with idols? Because you can't compare the Most High to plaster and to gold. Read the book of Jeremiah, book of Ezekiel. They went in on the idols. Let them know, hey, these are things that breathe not. Read Daniel and Baal and the dragon. He showed them fools that, hey man, y'all really think that there's some guy down here eating up these little snacks and stuff that y'all setting out for him? They got that spirit, like the heathen got with Satan claws. Think that he coming there eating cookies, man. That's your parents. You been bamboozled. You been hoodwinked, homie. Reading on. For ye are the temple of the living God, as God has said, I will dwell in them and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. So all these possessive terms, and our people still don't get it. Why would he be a God for everybody if he said he your people? Our people, that's over here in the hood, it ain't the same as the people that's out there in the hills, out in the suburbs, out in the backwoods. That can't be us. You go walking around in them areas, man, be like how Jake normally be, walk around with jewelry on your neck. You know what I'm saying? You bumping some rap music. You know what I'm saying? You riding around with tents. Them boys gonna hop down on you so fast because you're not them. They know that you don't belong out there. You gotta separate yourself from these folks, man. It's madness that our people think that we're equal with them. There is no equality, man. That brings me to the mind, man. I got another precept about that equality. Cause I'm tired of hearing about that stuff. Our people always want to claim that they equal to somebody, but they better than them. The Most High said in Deuteronomy 7:6 that we above all nations. How you gonna be equal to somebody when you above them? When they can't compare to you, when they can't play sports like you, when they can't cook like you, they can't dance like you, they don't look like you, they don't even smell like us. I used to work with an Amalekite, man, and one day we was just sitting there having a conversation, you know, just talking about cologne, and I just somebody had my cologne that smelled good. And I let him spray it on his wrist. He ain't even smell it on him like that. Only us, we the salt of the earth, man. We all the flavor. Can't nobody compare to us. Ain't no way that no other heathen can walk up and even say that they got nothing on me, nothing on my family, nothing on my brothers, nothing on the random people. It's people right over there playing on the playground. I don't even know them folks, but I guarantee you that there ain't no other nation better than them. They ain't got the swag that we got. They want to emulate us, you know. Damn. I'm like, we even made the Wicked Holidays look good. I was like, if it wasn't for Jake and Eve, man, like the other nations wouldn't even want to do, you know, Christmas and all that kind of wicked shit. Cause you got the damn Moabites, you know, they start putting on them long garments with the little fan and all the makeup on, looking like damn Chinese dragon. They want to dress like them now. You got the Islam Eves, man, all Ishmael. They taking off the hijabs nowadays, putting on pants, taking off the dresses. They knew what modesty was too, but the wine of Babylon has tricked our people, man. It has destroyed their mind. It's destroyed their temple, got them lost out here, man. It's horrible. Moving on. I don't want to use my own words too much, man. We got to go back to these words. Got Ezekiel 18:25. Say, yet ye say, the way of the Lord is not equal. And that's what our people like to say. They be like, man, that's not equality. I don't want to follow a God if that's the way he look at me. What you mean you don't want to follow after a God that look at you like that? You want to be equal with people that didn't beat you down, rape, rob, murder all your damn people? Fast forward all these years, they still killing us in the streets. Still look at us like we nothing. They look at you as just entertainment, they tell you. You walk into work with something nice on, they be like, oh man, I like that. It ain't funny. It ain't funny. Y'all want to be us. Y'all want to emulate us, man. But our people want to instead accept them. You know what I'm saying? Damn, heathens do something stupid like they dance on the news channels in the morning. And y'all be like, oh yeah, he invited to the cookout. Hey, who cookout? He ain't invited to mine. He ain't invited to my people. He show up to them cookout. Nah, we got to drag them out. We got to be unequally yoked with these people. Said Ezekiel 18:25. Yet ye say, the way of the Lord is not equal. Hear now, O house of Israel. See that he being specific, I'm talking to one group of people. I'm not talking to them. I'm not talking to them. I'm not talking to them. I'm talking to you. So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man, the 12 tribes. I'm talking to the Judites, the Manassites, the Benjamites, the Ephraimites, the Danites. Talking to Issachar, man. Talking to Zebulun. Talking to y'all, man. I'm not talking to them. Say, hear now, O house of Israel, is not my way equal? Are not your ways unequal? He said our ways are unequal. It ain't him that's going off, it's you. It's you, so-called black man. It's you, so-called black woman. It's you that don't want to raise up your child in the way they should go. It's you that don't want to feed your kids the food that they should be eating. It's you that want to have all these damn idols. It's you that want to hang out with the heathen, want to envy your oppressor, even though it's iron rusted, so is they damn wickedness. It's madness, man. I ain't pulling next precept. I don't want to use my own words too much, but I'm in the spirit today, you know. It's a Feast of Tabernacles. We rejoice in these days. Because time is almost up. That's why we got to realize we got to separate from them people. We got to separate from them people. We better than them by all means. Got Book of Sirach, chapter 7 and verse 16. Number not thyself among the multitude of sinners, but remember that wrath will not tarry long. You know, the world like to be like, oh, God hate the sin. He don't hate the sinner. Where that precept at? Bring it out. I ain't heard it. I ain't read it yet. Because when I read this, it say, number not thyself among the multitude of sinners, but remember that wrath will not tarry long. So the Most High mad. That wrath ain't being held up. He see what's going on. He just waiting. He got Yahushua up there like like a dog on a chain, man. It's running along the fence like I'm ready to get at him. This place is wicked, and it's gotta go. It's gotta go, man. But it's only gonna go when we get right. We gotta be ready to get up out of here. We gotta show ourselves worthy for the kingdom, because you can't even give the kingdom to Jake right now. It's still gonna be too many people, going at it. Still want to argue over which feast day is right and wrong. Still want to argue over if damn heathens can be grafted in. It's too many precepts to say that we are a chosen people. We're a royal priesthood. We shouldn't be around nobody else. We got to drink from our own cisterns. But that ain't what we want to do. It's madness. It said Book of Sirach, chapter 37, verse 4. If you ain't read the Book of Sirach, I don't know what's going on. It said, there is a companion which rejoiceth in prosperity of a friend, but in the time of trouble will be against him. There is a companion which helpeth his friend for the belly, and taketh up the buckler against his enemy. Forget not thy friend in thy mind, and be not unmindful of him in thy riches. And that's what's wrong with our people. They get a little bread, they like to switch up. I've seen people switch up on each other for government assistance. Like, word? For real? Like, you let something silly like a car payment, a phone bill, a meal, a drink. People will turn on you because of a cup of water. It's madness. That's a curse, man. That's why we out in the streets. We love bringing out Deuteronomy 28 and 54. Say that I be evil toward thy brother. We hate each other for no damn reason, but we still willing to accept the heathens. And it's madness. I don't know how much longer I can deal with it. I hate it here. It vexes my spirit on a daily basis. I know it affects so many other brothers and sisters the same way. Because I see it day in, day out. It's just nonstop. It's like clockwork. Our people can't stand each other. We can't build together, but we love running to them. I know plenty of Israelites that got, businesses that they trying to build up. They promoting it on a daily basis. But then our people are like, oh, you want $5 a month to view your service? Man, I don't know if I can do that one. But you know what I'm saying? They paying Netflix with no problem. They paying Amazon with no problem. Just to complain about what's on there. Just to go, oh, I'm tired of them force feeding this agenda to us. Look what they doing to the kids, da-da-da. But then the next season of a ratchet show come out, man, and y'all acting like it ain't even happened. It's madness, man. This place is wicked and delusional. Staying in the Apocrypha for another precept here, man. I'm going to 2nd Ezra chapter 8. We're going to go to verse 56. For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. And that's where we at nowadays. We forsaken the laws, because the law say be continually with your brother. You know what I'm saying? To love your brother as you love yourself. That's a law. That's in Leviticus, man. Leviticus 19. When you go into these damn wicked churches and the pastor's telling you that the law is done away with, when you truly need to read the law to better yourself and to better your community. But you don't want that. You rather support everybody else other than the person that look just like you. They got the same shoes as you, wear the same hairstyles as you. They eat the same food as you. When that's in the middle of actually changing, because we cutting out a lot of that stuff that y'all be on nowadays. Our people love being off. They love forsaking the law. Because if you actually was keeping the law, you'd be eating food that wouldn't be killing you. That wouldn't have our people number one in gout. Wouldn't be number one in high cholesterol, high blood pressure, diabetes. But because we don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and we're not around other people who keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, and reminding you to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, you're going off. It's like you begging for the Most High to show his wrath. It's like you striving to be part of the multitude instead of following the broad way. You rather be 2/3 instead of 1/3. You don't want to be set apart. You rather look like everybody else. That's the wildest thing I ever heard, man. 1 John 2 and 15. Said it don't end. It's too many precepts that's lining up to want to go the other way. I don't get it. 1 John 2:15. Love not the world. No, wait, I'm going to start at 14. I have written unto you, fathers, because ye have known him that is from the beginning. I said we knew him from the beginning because the Most High made everything. And then he made his son that came down here and established everything. Everybody know Hamashiach. They may not know his true name. They may not understand his true purpose, Salakia. But they know who he is. And it's time that we wait on him, like the book of Zephaniah 3:8 say. I have written unto you, young men, because ye are strong, and the word of God abideth in you. We all know the word. That's why people love to try to make the word fit what they want to say. When if you just actually read the word, it's going to say opposite of what you're trying to spill. I know so many people that be like, oh, you ain't supposed to judge. And it's like, no, when you go to a precept to say judge not, it say unless you be judged. I mean, I can't judge you in something, but yet I'm doing it. Like, I can't tell you, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying, you love being high all the time, man. You got to put that blunt down. But then as soon as I get home, I'm rolling up a J myself. That's off. That's what that mean by judge not unless you be judged. He said you got to pull the thorn out your own eye before you can uplift somebody else. So that's what we need to be doing as a nation, is learning the laws, statutes, and commandments, spreading it on to the next individual so they can keep the laws, statutes, and commandments. They can be a light, build up the next brother and the next sister and the next brother and the next sister. So we can get up out of this thing. The time is almost up. This place is about to get wiped out. So I have written unto you, young men, because ye are strong, and the word of God abideth in you, and ye have overcome the wicked one. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. And that's everybody else. Don't love them. Don't envy what they got going on. It may look like they having fun, they having a ball, they got all the money that they want, but the rich is gonna profit nothing in that day of wrath. All the money that Jake be holding up to their ear in the pictures, all the ice that everybody be wearing, that they worshiping. Say, man, Boosie walking around with that big old Caesar Borgia on his neck. Guess what? That thing gonna get burnt up along with him if he don't repent. Start keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. But our people show day in, day out that ain't what they want to do. Because just some months ago, it was probably about a year ago, I don't really be caring about the timelines of what go on in this world no more, but I just remember seeing it. This video, when he was talking about something that he gonna eat pork, he was like, you can't stop him from eating pork. And he flicked the Most High off, man. But you got to remember that, because Most High gonna do that same thing to you. Same way you said skip him, he gonna skip you. You gonna get knocked off. All because you want to be like them. You want to walk around with a damn so-called white man on your neck that ain't gonna save you. Because if the sky cracked and the so-called white man came back, guess what, bro? Another captivity, you going. But that ain't what the Most High said. Because Most High said what the Mashiach looked like. It's broken down in here. It's prophesied all throughout the book what our forefathers look like, what Hamashiach looked like, what the Most High looked like, because we made in the Most High's image. It's simple, man. It said, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And everybody like to say they got a personal relationship with God, they love God. But yet while, prophets out there trying to put you on game, trying to give you some precepts, you want to keep walking. If you love to hear about somebody, wouldn't you sit there and hear about them? It's just like if we stand out there in the street and we just having a conversation about LeBron, you know how many people love LeBron? They stop and talk about him for 20 minutes. We'll let you go, hey, you want to hear the word of the Lord? No, I'm busy, bro. I got to meet so-and-so and them down there. I got to go pick up this dinner. I got to take my child here. I got to take my... Brother, it's 11 o'clock at night. What are you even doing out here with the children, man? Freaks come out at night. We people of the daytime, man. The sun loves our body and our body loves the sun. Because the Most High made all these things for us. That's why the people who want to be us is over there getting burnt up right now. So, man, speaking of them folks, gotta go into the book of Sirach again. Book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 13. Separate thyself from thy enemy and take heed of thy friends. And who is going to be your friends? The ones that look just like you, the ones that got the same mindset as you. Because if you leave it to the world, they're going to tell you that it should be people using their bodies against nature. I ain't even going to go into it. I don't feel like getting the channel flag today. But people using their bodies outside of the natural use want to be with the person that literally look just like them. They got the same things as them. But they going to tell you that it's cool to be a gang member. They going to tell you that it's cool to sell drugs to your community. They going to tell you that it's cool to want to, mingle with the heathen, want to be with them. But it's a reason that the heathen, that their birth rate is falling out of here. It's like they want to keep mingling they seed with us so much that they getting wiped off. That's why they put the abortion clinics in the hood. So guess what? So-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American, that you can be the one that go in there and kill off your child. Because they don't want you to build up the household. Look at back in the day, all the men used to be in the house back in the 50s. But then they start giving out all the government assistance, locking up all the brothers, getting them hooked on coke. Our people love being like, oh, well, weed come from the earth. And they be like, well, guess what? That weed got so many people locked up that now they trying to clear they cases, but they still there. Our people still snared in holes. They hid in prison houses. You got to read the scriptures so you can understand where we've been, to understand where we need to go. But we can't do that because we want to be with them. Again, separate thyself from thy enemy and take heed of thy friends. A faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that hath found such as one hath found a treasure. Nothing doeth countervail a faithful friend, as his excellency is invaluable. A faithful friend is the medicine of life, and they that fear the Lord shall find him. Whoso fear the Lord shall direct his friendship aright, for as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. And we already know, man, we can't compare no neighbor to just anybody. Because when you grew up in them projects, the neighbors wasn't the heathen. You can't tell me that there was a bunch of East Indians that lived across the hall from you in apartments. That ain't true. Like, you can't tell me that. Your neighbors are people that look just like you. The ones that you rather jug and finesse and scam them, like we actually got something. We ain't got our own land. We ain't got our own food. We ain't got our own, we can start a business. It's lucky. I was about to say something that somebody could have clipped and try to, use something wrong. Be like, see, yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. Now, we can start a business, but guess what? You still going to the heathen and want of all things. That's another curse. You go into them, even if you bought a water company, guess what? You still gotta pay the water system to be able to actually get that supply. You can't collect the rainwater. They're gonna fine you for that. You can start a clothing company, but guess what? You still gotta go to them to get the t-shirts, even though, guess what? Your ancestors the one that picked all the cotton. So you gotta separate from that enemy, man. It's madness. I don't even know why I left the book of Sirach. It's so far that I can just stay in it for the whole time being. I'm only gonna pull a few more. I'm gonna wrap it up. It's a beautiful day. It's in the middle of the Feast of Tabernacles, man. I'm enjoying life. This is the day that the Most High has made. I'm rejoicing and being glad in it. Because I'm thinking about his laws, statutes, and commandments, and I hope that you is too. Book of Sirach, chapter 22, verse 13. Talk not much with the fool, and go not to him that hath no understanding. So you can't go to the folks in the world for understanding. They don't have any words of wisdom to give you in your time of trouble, your time of sorrow. And they can't give you just advice on the day-to-day, because they're gonna tell you to do something that's gonna be contrary to the law, statutes, and commandments. Because even when you're going through things, if you're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, you know that you gotta have faith. You gotta continue to look on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and he gonna get you through all things. If you actually got other people that are keeping law, statutes, and commandments, they can uplift you. They might be able to help you. Another brother or sister might have exactly what you need in that time, but you won't know because you rather be over here with the people who ain't got nothing good for you other than, you know what I'm saying, some damn drugs and alcohol. It's madness. Said, beware of him, lest thou have trouble, and thou shalt never be defiled with his fooleries. See that? Depart from him, and thou shalt find rest, and never be disquieted with madness. The wisdom of the world is foolishness. It's all madness. It's all madness. Said, but our people love being around madness. They love the drama. The book of Sirach, chapter 9, verse 13. Keep thee far from the man that hath power to kill, so shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. And that's another thing. I remember this a confession, you know, from myself. I used to want to hang out with the wrong people. Even though I knew the right thing to do, I used to want to hang out with the wrong people. I used to want to be around the ones that was hitting licks, the ones who was selling drugs, you know, just all kinds of folly, man. I don't even want to go in too much into it. I don't even want to, you know, feed to Satan, make him think that I'm reminiscing on madness. It's a keep far from the man that hath power to kill. So shalt thou, Salakia, so shalt thou not doubt the fear of death. It said, because being around that madness, you know, you build that up, and there's a term that the world like to call it, what's like a thrill seeker. You know, they like the intensity of doing something, you know, wild and crazy. But it said those people fear death. I mean, those people, Salakia, they don't fear death. Like, because you playing with your life. You ain't, you know, being thankful for what you have and being humble, being lowly, being comely. Said you playing with your life. You rolling the dice. You just, any day could be your time, and you just making that time speed up instead of actually taking care of what the Most High gave you. Your body is a temple from the Most High, but you just rather defile it. It's madness. Say, and if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. Remember that thou goest in the midst of snares, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. So that's what we doing on a daily basis, walking in battlements of the city. Because everything in this life is a battle. It's all out to get your soul. It's all out to get your spirit. It wants you to go off. Because, you know, Satan desires to have you. But if you give in all your time to the Most High, then it ain't nothing left for him. It ain't nothing left for Satan to get. It ain't nothing left for you know, for people who want to live a life of iniquity. It ain't gonna be nothing for them to get if you just giving all your time, all your energy, and all your focus to the Most High. So I'm bring out John, because our forefathers, man, they gave us, you know, they gave us the blueprint on how to walk through life. But instead, we rather neglect the word of life and want to deal with madness, man, with damn vexation of spirit, with folly, with things that aren't beneficial for us. With John 15 verse 12, this is my commandment. So like I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna start at 10. If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love. And this is the words of Hamashiach, man, who everybody call Christ. This is him speaking. This red letter. If ye keep my commandments, ye shall abide in my love. And as I have kept my Father's commandments and abide in his love. He says, so if you listening to Yahushua, man, then you're going to be doing exactly what the Most High Yahweh told him to do. You know, if you go into the church, they want to make it seem like Christ spoke his own words. Like, no, he only spoke what the Father wanted him to speak. I just harped on this a second ago. We made in his image. We all are the same seed, all of that royal bloodline, man. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, that your joy might be full. So you keeping the commandments, it's all joyful. You being around other people that are keeping the commandments, it's all joyful. we used to go to the backyard barbecues and stuff, man. But worried about the people, that you used to have beef with rolling up on you. We ain't worried about that at the Most High's feast days. We not worried about that at Tabernacles. We weren't worried about that at the Day of Atonement. We weren't worried about that at the New Moon. We wasn't worried about that at the at last Feast of Dedication. We weren't worried about it at Passover. We're not worried about these things because we keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. That we not worried about nothing. Because we know that even if something does ever happen to us, our spirit go back to the Most High, and we just pray that He have mercy on us. Because, that's one of the moments you can say that the Most High knew your heart. Because Most High know that our hearts are desperately wicked. But it's only wicked if you allow it to be. If you keep in your mind on the law, statutes, and commandments, you ain't got time for wickedness. There's no time for the folly and the floof, man. Verse 12, this is my commandment, that ye love one another as I have loved you. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. That's what I'm saying. So if you actually, putting your life on the line, I was like, we forsaking the world. We putting our life on the line. We dedicating it to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So we dedicating our lives to Him. We laying down our life for our friends. We choose to be the light for our friends, for our family. So when they see it, they be like, oh man, he look real happy now. He following that righteous path. He is prospering. There's nothing for him to worry about. Bad things happen to him, but he keep a smile on his face. Your people see that. Whether they acknowledge it or not, they see what you doing. They know what you got going on. So if you actually being the light to them, then, it ain't nothing to worry about. So I want to use an example from one of our righteous forefathers, man. It's the book of Maccabees 4 and verse 41. Then Judas appointed certain men to fight against those that were in the fortress until he had cleansed the sanctuary. I said, so he chose people he knew that would do the job. He chose people that he knew was going to handle that thing, that was going to do what he needed to do while he cleansed the sanctuary. So he chose priests of blameless conversation, such as had pleasure in the law, who cleanse the sanctuary and bear out defiled stones into an unclean place. See that? I said, so the Most High wasn't going to choose somebody who was, who was going to be in there with the damn blunt ashes all over the place, that was going to leave Hennessy and Bud Light bottles all over the place. He hired men that was going to be righteous, that had righteous conversation, that surrounded their life around the law, statutes, and commandments. So you got to be like that now. The days of old are not past. There's nothing new under the sun. We still in the same times. Ain't nothing changed but the date. Other than that, we still the same people. God didn't do away with His people. The Most High did not do away with His people. He did not do away with the law, statutes, and commandments. They still in effect. They're going to reign forever. I'm going to close up with this one. Book of Sirach, chapter 37, verse 12. Shout out to my brother Amaziah. They gave me this precept under part 1. I got to close out with this one. But be continually with the godly man, who thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry. So you got to be around somebody who going to have that same righteous mindset as you. That's going to say the same things you say. Because the same thing we say is the same thing that the Word say. The same thing that the Most High say. The same thing that our forefathers said. And it's the same thing that prophets in every city across this wicked Babylonian land and in other countries are doing to this day. And Most High willing, that we continue to do it. We continue to be edified. We continue to be uplifted. And the Most High continue to show us grace and mercy so we can be in the kingdom in that day. We want to make our calling and election sure. But with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahushai. I hope y'all have a mighty Feast of Tabernacles if y'all celebrating this week. Shalom to all the brothers who kept it, you know, in the past month or so, and shalom to everybody who about to keep it, man. One love to the nation. Kwam Yashala.